We're here in the land of Endor. You can see the redwood trees behind us. And I thought it would be cool to get 5 tips that are guaranteed to instantly improve your photography from Yoda. Okay, ready? Tip number 1, do or do not, there is no try. What does that mean? Be a photographer. Don't try to be a photographer. Just decide for yourself that you are a photographer. Go for it. Tip number 2 from our friend Yoda. You fail because you don't believe. What does he mean by that? I think what he means is you first of all got to believe in yourself. You know, we've been talking about the critics. Well, we've already thrown them away. But you got to believe in yourself. You've decided you're a photographer now. Believe in yourself. Learn all you can and spark joy with this phenomenal thing that you've got called photography. Tip number 3 from our friend Yoda. You find only what you bring in. What does he mean by that? Here's what I think he means. Photography is not a spectator sport where you kind of stand back and, you know, hope that the perfect photograph will kind of come to you. You have to go and find it. And the only way that you find it is you got to bring it in. You got to bring it. And that comes from you being involved in the shot. Get in there. You know, let's say you've got a subject and you want them to move into a certain location or out of the sun or over by something or away from something. Direct that subject. Don't just kind of hope that somehow it's all going to come out right. Be willing to bring it in. And that way you're going to find what you want in that shot. Okay, tip number 4 from Yoda, control, control, you must learn control. Okay, it starts with really understanding your camera and controlling it. If you can, see if there's a field guide that matches your camera. This is for the 5D Mark III, as you can see. And it's written differently than a manual. It's written by a guy who really just took the camera apart and put it back together again. You've got to do it in conjunction with your manual so you have both of these together. And if you can find the video that goes with your camera or a set of videos, bam, watch those, because you've got to know how your camera functions. Now, if you've read AYP, you know that I cover all the basic terms of your camera, but you've got to know your exact model. Get to know it and control it. Now, the other part of it, in terms of being in control, is you've got to see what the camera sees. And the way you do that is that you shoot and then you go back and instantly, as soon as you can, look at it on your computer screen. Look at it on a big screen so that you can see what it was your camera captured. And you'll see there's quite a difference between what you see with your eyes and what the camera does. Let's just practice with Shyla here. She's got herself a little stick and I'm going to take some shots of her. I've got it down to f2.8 because I really just want to get her and not the background. And I'm taking note while I'm taking these shots of kind of how things look to me, because when you look with your eye, our dynamic range is huge. But as soon as you start looking through the camera, you're losing that range. So I want to see Shyla. Okay, this is kind of getting into what I was just talking about, is directing her. Now she's in pretty good light. Oh no, this is not good. There goes a brushing that we're going to have to do in a minute. But we're going to take these back and look at them in the studio and do a comparison. Okay, here we are looking at these images on the monitor. And I first of all want to put a disclaimer in. This is a training exercise. These are not examples of great images. Please keep that in mind. Here's the first one, which obviously is useless, except to tell us don't shoot in midday with your subject in sunlight. You can see how badly clipped it is. Now, I could have seen this. Obviously, I already saw it with the naked eye, but I also could have looked at my histogram and avoided this one. Nothing to do with this one except hit X and reject it. Next one. Okay, hardly any clipping here, so that can be fixed. I love the way the light is hitting her tongue. Look at that. That's really cool. And look at the background. This is awesome. And not bad, except the composition isn't really anything interesting. Okay, now this is definitely the best of the bunch. Straight out of the camera, you can see this eye is in focus, her nose is in focus. Uh-oh, this eye is not in focus. So I needed to stop down. I was at 2.8. I probably need to be at f4-ish to make sure her whole face is in focus. But I love the way the background is contrasting her coat here. It's awesome. The thing to do would be to go right back out and shoot again. Now I could have seen these things in the back of the camera, obviously, and I could have zoomed in to see this, but it's obvious when you put it on the big screen. That's why this is such a great training exercise. Keep doing that and you'll learn what your camera sees. Number 5, always pass on what you've learned. That was from Yoda. What does that mean to us? Well, if you're getting something out of this series, and I hope you are, and you notice I'm really involving you guys more heavily in this new series, be sure to pass it along to your friends. Share these videos, get them out on your own social media so that we have a bigger and bigger group of photographers who are participating in this series with us. Okay, I hope these 5 tips helped you. Leave your comments and be sure to subscribe, okay? And like us, as I already said, share these videos. And follow me on Instagram. Also hashtag your own photos on Instagram, AYP Club, okay? So we can see your work. And remember to get out and capture your own images of life.